heavyweight collision between Dan Severn and the American gangster, Chael P. Sonnen. So here he is, the American gangster, the people's champion, Chael P. Sonnen. He was unable to complete that promise to his late father in 2010 by realizing a UFC middleweight championship, but Chael has been unfazed and remains committed to that end. Let's see how it goes for him in another big spot here tonight.
In my opinion, Chael Sonnen is the greatest trash talker in the history of combat sports. He is the greatest hype man sports has ever known. And don't let that fool you, because the man can fight.
All right, so here he is, the former two-time All-American wrestler at Arizona State University, Dan Severn. This is a mixed martial arts pioneer, made his UFC debut back at UFC 4 in 1994, and Severn has continued to realize success. He has already fought a lot of big names and has beaten a lot of those guys as well, turning back the likes of Tank Abbott, Ken Shamrock, and no surprise, Dan Severn finds himself in another big spot tonight.
Dan the Beast Severn is one of the greatest pure wrestlers to ever step foot in the octagon. He's got gorilla strength, dominating takedowns, and has been competing non-stop in this sport for over 15 years.
Our tale of the tape for this heavyweight fight. So these fighters are just a year apart with similar.
Ready to fight? Ready.
All right, so this UFC Grand Prix tournament is coming up next. This format has been all the rage with a lot of the hardcore mixed martial arts fans out there. Sort of an homage to the history of UFC and Pride with a single night tournament game event here.
Guillotine! That's a deep choke. This is getting pretty tight. He might be forced to tap. Oh my God!
Will do it!
Great job in getting this fight to the ground quickly and getting an early submission.
Yeah, Joe, we could barely get the Fight Clock sponsor out, and the submission comes here in round one. He said he didn't want to waste a lot of time. He knew his opponent would know what was coming. It was going to be takedown attempts in bunches, but he couldn't stop the early shot, and he certainly couldn't stop the submission. So great effort and even better technique here tonight.
And here we see it again. Beautiful submission victory.
Heavyweight collision between Mark Coleman and Chuck Liddell. Oh, is it great to see this guy make the walk here tonight. Really as accomplished a striker as we've seen come into the UFC in years. And no surprise, he'll be interested in keeping the fight standing tonight. We'll see if he can put on a striking clinic. If the takedown defense holds up, figures to have a pronounced advantage on the feet.
If there's one thing you have to watch out for from Chuck Liddell, it's the overhand right. He has very solid takedown defense and very solid takedowns of his own, but he likes to keep the fight standing and throw those legendary punches of his.
Nice pop from the crowd as this fighter makes his way to the UFC octagon. He brings a lot to the table. Prevailing wisdom, though, tonight, that he will try to take his opponent down and unleash his best weapon, which is his ground and pound. Honestly, some of the more vicious ground and pound we have in the sport today. Not just good at the ground and pound, but maintaining the top position in order to continue to do damage. Nasty punches and elbows on the ground, from inside the guard, from half guard, side mount. This is a devastating striker with which to contend.
Mark the Hammer Coleman is the godfather of ground and pound and a living legend. He's been in this sport since UFC 10. He was the first UFC heavyweight champion, the first Pride Grand Prix champion, and he was an Olympic freestyle wrestler.
Our tale of the tape for this heavyweight fight. So a more than 5-year gap between these two fighters when it comes to the...
Are you ready?
Here we go. Not there. Opens with the left hand and lands flush. And he connects there. Oh, and that kick is blocked. Oh, nice jab there by Coleman.
He changes stances and switches southpaw. Tagged him.
Oh!
This could be it. He nailed him again and again.
Liddell's able to attain the underhook here. Nice job to pummel. Now let's see what he can do. Takedown defense holds up.
Tying up in the clinch here.
Oh, nice punch from the clinch by the Iceman. First takedown attempt is there.
Trying to take the back here. And now into full guard.
Well, pretty good work off of the bottom here by the Iceman.
It looks to me like he's trying to turn towards either side.
Effective punch there by Chuck Liddell. And he landed the right hand there.
Now he's back into full guard. He's putting himself into a position to isolate an arm. Throws the leg over the face. Now he's got to extend his body. It looks like he's got it locked up. And he's got the arm. This arm bar is very deep. Just absolutely incredible. An excellent job in setting up the arm bar and getting the tap.
Yeah, that is some high-level Brazilian jiu-jitsu right there. Just the way he transitioned to secure the arm up against his body and ultimately force the tap. High-level stuff out of that young man here tonight.
And one more time from this angle, we can see that arm bar locked in tight for the tap.